Did you guys know that 76% of homeowners have at least 50% of equity in their homes? It's crazy. Hey guys, this is Aubri Blaize with Keller Williams, Kansas City North, and I'm a real estate agent here in the Kansas City area. I specialize in listings, helping buyers and investors in the area. And we're doing a February market stats. Don't click next. This is actually going to be somewhat not boring, and if you're very interested in real estate market, you'll want to hear, okay? So we're going to take the stats off of kcrer.com, and this is going to be over Heartland MLS as a whole. So what are we seeing in Heartland MLS, which is our MLS system? All the homes listed in the Kansas City and entire area gets listed in MLS, and we're pulling the stats from that as a whole. I will say our market is bipolar right now. It doesn't make rhythm on any of the things that are going on right now. Some homes are still selling in bidding wars. Some homes are sitting on the market. Some are selling significantly under list price, or we're seeing lots of drops. So right now in Heartland MLS, we are seeing the average sales price at $349,565. Last year it was $330, so it has gone up. However, last month it was $355. So it's a $5,000 difference lower. So we are seeing, it's slowing. Now it is still appreciating, just at a slower rate. So we're still seeing things grow. We're still seeing homes come on the market. Homes are still selling just a little bit at a slower rate. Days on market is up at 56 days on market. So not like what we're used to. Last year it was 54, but before, in 2021, 2020, we were seeing like in the teens, which was an unusual time. So that we're starting to kind of get back to maybe something that's like a little bit more normal. And our inventory has gone up. So we're seeing more homes come onto the market than previously. And then the supply has not changed from last year too much, but in general, we're with a 2-month supply. A balanced market is 6, but some areas we are seeing it be from a seller's market and it's sliding into a balanced or buyer's market from a seller's market. So we are seeing that in certain pockets of the Kansas City area. So I would take of that. Some other things that we're noticing is the percent of list price is slowly staying steady around 96.7%. So homes aren't necessarily selling at the price they're listed, maybe a little bit below, but there are some pockets where homes are selling at a higher amount than was listed. And the closed sales has also gone down. So we're seeing a slower amount of homes closing and inventory going up. So we're getting better inventory as well, which is nice. So yeah. I also want to talk about like what kind of in the price range that are still a seller's market, what is a balanced market, and what is a buyer's market. So we're going to quickly talk about home sales reports in Heartland MLS as a whole. Here we go. So under $70,000, it is still a seller's market with 0 to 3 months inventory. Then we have a pocket of from 70 to 160 grand where those homes are kind of sitting a little bit longer. They're in a balanced market. Then we just have one pocket here where it's from 160 to 179 and it is in a seller's market. And then from 190 to 200 grand, it is in a balanced market. Then it goes back into a seller's market from 200 to $900,000. And then above that, we have a buyer's market, meaning that it's going to sit for a long time. Buyers can negotiate, they can draw down the price, they can ask for lots of repairs. All right, let's talk about Clay County. So pretty much it's all green except for 2 pockets, which are very interesting. So 180 and 1,000 and below is all green, meaning that it's a seller's market with 0 to 3 months of inventory. But then you have 180 to 200,000 where it's this balanced market of 3 to 6 months of inventory, meaning homes are going to sit a little bit longer to sell. After that, from 200 to 600,000, it's a seller's market. But then you have a balanced market again from 600 to 700 with 6+ months of inventory, and the homes are sitting a lot longer on the market, things like that. Then after that, from 800 to 1 million, seller's market. Then it turns into a buyer's market from 1 million to 1.5 million, and then back into a seller's market, selling quickly, 1 million and up. It's crazy, but those are the stats for Clay County. If you live in Platte County and you're thinking of selling, all in all, it's pretty much a seller's market besides one balanced market area from $240,000 to $260,000, where it is a balanced market with 3 to 6 months of inventory. Another balanced market area from $600,000 to $900,000, where it's balanced. And then pretty much there's a pocket of being a seller's market where they're selling a little bit faster from 900 to a million. But then after that, it turns into a buyer's market with 6+ months of inventory, meaning homes are taking a little bit longer to sell. Buyers can negotiate a lot more, possibly down the price, repairs, things like that. Does anybody live in Cass County? I only know a few, but let's go through it. Everything, seller's market, except for two pockets, main pockets. I'm going to stop everything over 800 grand, but from 120 to 140, balanced market. From 200 to 220, balanced market. Everything else is a seller's market. And there's one more pocket from 600 to 700,000 where it's balanced. But pretty much across the board, it means that it's either in a seller's market or a balanced market, meaning that there might be some negotiation or people sitting on the market a little bit longer seller-wide. But for the most part, things are selling pretty quickly and things are moving in Cass County. Let's talk about Johnson County and the home sales report. So this one's a crazy one because it is pretty much a seller's market in Johnson County completely, except there's a pocket from 140 to 160,000 where it's kind of a balanced market. And then anything over $1 million and up to $2 million, if you are one of those, it is a balanced market. And then anything over that is a buyer's market, meaning it's going to sit on the market a little bit longer. Homes prices are going to be negotiated down. People are going to ask for repairs, things like that. But pretty much across the board, Johnson County is still a seller's market. Jackson County. Let's talk about it. So in Jackson County, under $70,000 is a seller's market, besides a pocket between about $30,000 to $40,000 where it's kind of balanced. Then from 70 to 160, it's also a balanced market with homes still selling in a seller's market from 160 to 170,000. And then there is another pocket where it's balanced right after that. But then from 200 all the way up to $900,000, it's a seller's market in Jackson County. And then anything 900,000 and over, a buyer's market with 6+ months of inventory. Let's talk Wyandotte County. So Wyandotte County, if you're under $120,000 and below, it is a seller's market with 0 to 3 months inventory. Then between $120,000 to $140,000, you actually are in a buyer's market, which is crazy because I just tried to sell a house and it sat for a very, very long time. And we had to drop price multiple times until it was finally sold, which makes sense because it's in that price range. From 140 to 160,000, it's a balanced market. They're sitting a little bit longer, but they are selling. And then it kind of dabbles back and forth from 178 all the way up to pretty much 500,000. It has pockets of balanced market and seller's market. And then there is from 500 to 600,000, it is a buyer's market. So homes priced in Wyandotte County are sitting in that price range for a very long time. Probably the price is getting negotiated down and repairs are being made before it is sold. Surprise, surprise, in Wyandotte County, from $700,000 and all the way over $2 million is a seller's market, meaning they sell really quickly. I didn't think that would be a thing, but it is. So we're seeing kind of across the board this weird thing going on where it just really depends on the house, the area, timing, everything. So being crucial in the market right now and really looking at numbers is very important as always, but just more than ever now from what we are used to. So I hope that you like this and like, follow, and subscribe for more.